Summer at Buttercup Beach by Holly Martin. Narrated by Penny Andrews. Chapter 1. Freya Green stared in wonder at the glorious sight of Rome Lancaster, naked from the waist up. They were experiencing the first really hot day of the year, with temperatures apparently hotter than Miami. Freya spent quite a bit of time working outside during the course of her job, and she loved it, but even she hadn't been looking forward to working outside in such sweltering conditions today. Now, however, she had changed her mind. Freya and Rome had been working alongside each other all morning on the roof of a 3-story townhouse overlooking Buttercup Beach. They were replacing the old skylight with one of Rome's beautiful stained glass creations. They had chatted, laughed as they always did, and then suddenly Rome had wiped the sweat off his head and stripped off his t-shirt without any kind of warning. After almost 2 years of working alongside him, she had seen him topless before, but not as many times as she would like. And as winter had dragged on into a relatively cool spring, his wonderful body had been well and truly kept under wraps. Now it was out for her to enjoy. He was so broad and muscular, but not from working out in a gym, just years of hard labour instead. His stomach was toned and showed the faint lines of a six-pack. His chest was smooth and hairless, though there was a thin trail of dark hair leading from his belly button that disappeared into his shorts. His arms were so strong, safe. With his dark, curly hair, soft grey eyes, and dark stubble that covered his jaw, he was beautiful. She felt a bit bad ogling her best friend like this, but if his 56,000 followers on Instagram could enjoy his body, then it didn't hurt to look for a few seconds, surely. Except it had been a good minute, maybe 2, and to her horror she realised that Rome had noticed her staring. Embarrassed, she took a step back and toppled straight off the roof. She plummeted headfirst down the side of the building and let out an ear-piercing scream, but she fell only a few feet before the safety harness she was wearing kicked in, and she was jerked to a halt. Rome had made a big fuss about her wearing one, and though at the time she hadn't thought it was necessary, right now she had never been so grateful for his overprotectiveness. She swung like a pendulum for a few seconds, her heart racing in her chest as she tried to grab onto the scaffolding to pull herself back up, but it was just out of her reach, and the swinging motion of her body made it even more difficult. Rome was suddenly there, leaping onto the scaffolding from the roof, and as she swung back towards him, he wrapped his arms round her back and dragged her up. She reached out to grab him too, wrapping her arms round him, which made it even more awkward for him, and as he pulled her to safety, he stumbled back himself and hit the platform with her lying on his chest, his arms tight around her. For a few seconds, Freya felt only relief, her body roaring with adrenaline as she clung to him, but then she realised her cheek was resting on his warm, bare chest. How fantastic he smelled! That gorgeous tang of the ocean, coupled with that wonderful, clean sandalwood smell. For a brief moment, she closed her eyes and relished in the feel of lying on his chest, feeling his heart hammering against her cheek, and how utterly right it felt to have his arms wrapped round her.
"Jesus Christ, you scared the crap out of me," Rome said, shattering her moment of bliss. "What the hell were you doing, just staring into space? You should have been paying more attention."
He slid his hand up her back to cup her neck, and all words she'd wanted to say to defend herself stalled in her throat. It was such an unconscious gesture, but for her it meant the world. "It was just the heat," Freya said lamely, and then winced. She was not a girl who fainted in the heat, and telling Rome that the hot weather had made her feel funny made her cringe.
"It is getting hot up here," Rome admitted begrudgingly. "Maybe we should take a break for a little while, get some lunch, come back to it this afternoon when it's a bit cooler."
"Sounds good," Freya said, though she made no attempt to move, and Rome didn't relinquish his hold on her either. She wondered, not for the first time, whether he was starting to have feelings for her too. There had been many such gestures over the last few months, and more frequently over the last few weeks. Little looks,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?